On August the 30th, 4 people were killed in the Donetsk region as a result of Russian shellings, and 2 people were injured, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. 2 people died in Klishivka, 1 person in Bakhmut, and 1 in Korsunivka. 781 people perished and 1,986 were wounded in the Donetsk region since the start of the Russian invasion. On the night of August the 31st, Russian military carried out strikes on Slovyansk, Kramatorsk, Chasiv Yar and Kurakhove. The shelling caused destruction of residential houses and set vehicles on fire, reported Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. According to him, in Kramatorsk, at least 4 high-rise buildings were damaged by the shelling, and 5 buildings were damaged in Slovyansk. In Chasiv Yar, residential blocks and industrial area came under fire. 2 high-rise apartment buildings were destroyed. In Kurakhove, a Russian shell hit a parking lot, destroying some private cars and municipal machines. The Russians hit civilian targets every day and will continue doing so. Every bombardment could have had much more tragic consequences if the local resident had not been timely evacuated, Mr. Kyrylenko noted. The Russian army bombarded the evacuation base of the Ukrainian Red Cross Society in Slovyansk. The building was destroyed and 3 cars were damaged. No victims reported, said Taras Loginov, Ukrainian Red Cross spokesman. The invaders shot from 158mm artillery. 4 shells hit the facility, he reported. According to Mr. Loginov, the base was used to accommodate the team that dealt with evacuation of wounded and sick people since April the 18th. The volunteers also delivered food and hygiene items, canvas and polyethylene to fix the houses, blankets, medications and potable water to local residents. He also added that the volunteers keep evacuating the peaceful residents on the remaining vehicles. In the Russia-occupied Mariupol, local residents held a protest in Hurov Park for not receiving the humanitarian aid. Petro Andrushenko, advisor to Mariupol mayor, posted on Telegram. The first real starving revolt, as there is no humanitarian aid from the invaders. The only source of food for many people is the Red Cross aid. But the Red Cross tried to cancel the issue due to a very large number of people, said the advisor. In the afternoon on August the 30th, the Russian military carried out the 2nd artillery strike on Kharkiv. The blast thundered at around 15:15. Kharkiv mayor Igor Terehov said that the Russians targeted a high-rise in Kievsky district. Yevhen Vasilenko, spokesman of the State Emergency Service in Kharkiv region, told Suspilne that the bombardments caused destruction in 1 flat and also between the upper floor and roof. It goes about buildings in North Saltivka. It is estimated that no one was killed or wounded. The munition type is being investigated. It was the 2nd Kharkiv shelling over August the 30th. On the night of August the 31st, Russian army struck a residential house in Kharkiv's Kievsky district, said Kharkiv mayor Igor Terehov. Oleg Sinehubov, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, said that at 21 to 1 a.m. it was known about 2 people wounded by the Russian attack. In the morning, he specified that 2 women were wounded, aged 81 and 71. According to Mr. Sinehubov, around midnight, Russian troops launched 3 missiles in Kharkiv direction from Belgorod. One of the missiles struck next to an educational facility in Kievsky district. The State Emergency Service in Kharkiv region reported that the strike caused 2 fires. In a 4-story residential building, a flat was on fire on the 3rd floor with 30 square meters area, and in a 4-story office building, premises on the 4th floor caught fire on 40 square meters. 9 fire engines and 40 firefighters were involved in extinguishing work. On August the 30th at 14:16, sounds of explosions were heard in Mykolaiv, after which sirens were activated in the city. As of 15:06, it was known about 1 wounded and 1 dead. This was reported by Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor. According to Dnipropetrovsk, the press officer of Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration, Russian troops launched a missile and artillery attack on the infrastructure. According to previous information, it was BM-30. There was shelling with cluster munitions, Dnipropetrovsk said. The main directorate of the State Service for Emergency Situations in Mykolaiv region reported that as of the morning of August the 31st, the fire at one of the city's infrastructure facilities, which broke out as a result of daytime shelling, is being extinguished. According to emergency workers, a grain silo is on fire. The estimated area of fire is 200 square meters. Valentin Reznichenko, the head of Dnipropetrovsk Regional Military Administration, announced that on the night of August the 31st, the Russian army shelled Nikopolsk district 4 times with BM-21 and heavy artillery. They hit Nikopol itself twice. A 57-year-old woman was injured. She's in the hospital. Doctors assess her condition as moderate, he wrote. As a result of the shelling, 12 high-rise buildings, several shops and pharmacies, a college, a children's and youth sports school and a cultural and sports complex were damaged in the city. According to the head of Dnipro Regional Military Administration, there are no victims or injured in Mirove Hromada. The Russian military continues to fire at residential areas and destroy civil infrastructure facilities in Novovorontsovka, Kherson region. This is stated on the Facebook page of Kakhovka operational group of troops. Their actions are aimed at worsening the moral and psychological state and spirit of the Ukrainian population. The Russian military understands the power of Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian army, they feel their defeat, so they are trying to intimidate the population of our country by all means, the message says. Thus, according to the report of Yaroslav Yanushevich, the head of the Regional Military Administration, the Russian military destroyed 42 medical and 101 educational institutions in Kherson region. In total, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of the Russian Federation into Ukraine, 2,617 civilian objects have been damaged in the region. Serhiy Chornobrivets, the hospitaller, and his rescue colleagues provide first aid to a wounded Ukrainian soldier working quickly. The fighter was injured during mortar shelling. Don't worry, man, we are looking for painkillers. In this archival footage from Mariupol, Serhiy and other medics are saving the life of a man injured after the shelling. They are coming, more people come, get ready. Medic of Mariupol, that's how they started calling a 24-year-old man who helped wounded residents during shelling of the city. He left Mariupol on his birthday, March the 18th, in the red overalls of an ambulance worker. Mariupol played a big role in what I do now. If I hadn't been in Mariupol, I wouldn't have become a hospitaller now. Frankly, I wouldn't have enough courage. The man continues his job, but already in Kharkiv. He says that the army has become a second home for him and plans to serve until the end of the war. Now I have a goal. I want to be a hospitaller until we win, as long as possible. I will find peace when I go to Mariupol, and there will be a Ukrainian flag.
Это когда я просто зайду в Мариуполь, и там будет висеть украинский флаг.